Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Finish Shogi, Shogi Wars Speedrun. Today, we will continue our sad attempts to play Shin Onigoroshi, the new demon killer, so we can get it out of the way. It might not happen. Ooh. Maybe an Ureshino player, Torizashi. Yep, Ureshino style. Okay. I think we're gonna play Mukai Bisha, which is opposing Rook, because every time I see ShogiDad, who loves playing Ureshino, play against Mukai Bisha, he gets mad. So we're gonna try it and see if it works. Okay, so they've blocked in their silver, which is a little weird. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna play an iFooty game. Okay, well let's wait and see. Swinging Rook tends to wait for an attack and try to counter. So, pull the silver up here. We want to put our gold here later. Okay. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and castle. Yep, okay, pawn push. I don't know if they're afraid to open their bishop. Okay, I don't want the silver to come out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the bishop, even though I prefer bishop exchange opposing Rook. Okay. Have the silver guard the bishop's head. Okay, they're gonna pull the bishop back, but pushing this pawn here has blocked the silver, so I don't think there's anything here really. Let's see. Go ahead and push this pawn as well. We want to maneuver our bishop over to this square. Okay. Push our edge pawn, give our king a little more breathing room in the endgame. Go for Mino. Okay. I was not expecting this. I'd like to complete my Mino, but I guess we'll just go ahead and guard the pawn, develop our knight. Playing a little bit defensively because Ureshino style players like to play very offensively. I don't think that edge pawn is as important as finishing my Mino castle, so I'm going to do that first. We don't want to capture this pawn because that'll let the silver come up. So, and we want to advance our silver, not the other way around. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my bishop where I actually want it. This bishop line is kind of annoying. Okay. This was so weird. They're playing like a swinging Rook player. It's very interesting. So I guess they can capture the pawn next, but I feel like I could just say so what. This gold isn't really doing anything now, so we'll go ahead and scoot it over. Now it can defend this square. Let's see here. I really want to make this pawn exchange with this annoying bishop. Okay, we'll block off the bishop's line. Blocks off our own bishop's line, which I don't like, but it is what it is. If the silver comes and harasses our bishop, we can just kind of scooch out of the way. Okay, so while the bishop is blocked, we're going to go ahead and push this pawn. Okay, bishop exchange is no problem for me. Everything's guarded here. Go ahead and push in. This isn't... I don't think this is going to do anything. Oh no, okay, they can... my bishop's not here anymore. Okay, so that's a problem. Let's do the simplest defense. Or... I could drop the pawn on the head. No, let's just put a pawn here. No reason to overcomplicate. So I want to get this pawn out of my rook's way. Maybe make a token. So kind of my next two moves, if they don't stop me, are going to be here and here. Okay. Coming after the gold, they're going to promote the rook. Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. I have basically no castle at all. I can develop into a silver Mino, so I'm not, actually I'm not going to do that because then they would take my rook for free, so I'm just going to do this. Okay, so now we have a big material advantage. We want to make sure that that is felt, so we're going to try to slow the game down, basically. So whatever attack they're planning, we're going to attempt to defend it. This pawn drop is important, it stops the gold drop. Gold takes, dragon takes, we have problems. Okay, so how do we slow the game down? If I go here, we'll be speeding things up. Silver takes, pawn takes. Oh, but then this gold is hanging. Okay. I like this idea, actually. It's a little tricky. Silver takes, pawn takes. We come in and get the gold. They'll take our gold, but then we can drop another one. Ah, okay, yep, they saw that. If the... okay, so the silver's the only thing protecting this pawn other than the dragon, so... I'm thinking I can... just go ahead and harass the silver. And now I need to get the dragon to move. Here's an idea. I can aim at this fairly weak pawn. Tuck the bishop in here. This pawn is pinned now to the king. My idea is I want to drop the silver here and then threaten this move. Basically, I'm trying to find ways to break through right now. I might push this pawn, it's going to take a while though. Okay. I'm tempted to just take this. But victory goes to the patient player. Okay, if they take, that'll open up my rook's file again, so I'm gonna proceed as planned. This knight is in some ways invincible because if they take it, I can come in here, and then this dragon has no good squares to go. Because I'll be threatening this very dangerous advance on the king. Okay. Yeah, I want to jump the knight now, but what if, okay, we take, they take, we drop the silver, gold takes, silver takes, drop again, okay, yeah. Let's do that. I'll take a temporary material loss, and hopefully make a profit. The nice thing is their king has almost no defense around it, so it should be fairly simple to mate it once we get started here. Okay, but this is the tricky move now. So I can actually add power with the knight here. See, now I have a material disadvantage, and so I need the game to speed up. I don't want to trade my gold here for nothing, so I'm going to build power. I might drop a pawn or something. Oh, okay, silver. This feels like a mistake. Bishop, dragon retreats. Silver takes. Yeah, okay. Silver takes, knight takes, promotes. Dragon has to run away. And now I have 3 pieces attacking the square instead of just 2. Okay. Come in and harass the king.
2分30秒
They don't have any immediate attacks now? Okay. How do I shut that down? Okay, we'll just go ahead and take this knight. I think, well, let's pop the king out first. Okay, he's in a very precarious position now. Grab a little more material. Again, there's no like instant threats on our king, so we can kind of just do whatever we want. Next, I want to take this pawn and unpromote the silver. They might try to defend this pawn. We can pick up the lance if they do that, maybe. Okay, they're gonna go for a mutual attack, which I think is a mistake, but we'll find out. Okay, so they're coming over this way. Let's see, let's see. Do they have a threat mate? I think so. Push this pawn, they can come this way. Yeah, I don't want them to get entering king. That's the problem here.
1分30秒
We have a knight in hand, though. Okay, pawn drop here, or let's see, silver up. Oh man. Oh! Silver up, the king comes over here. Knight jump. This is really hard to read in a minute. Hopefully this will work. Okay.
1分
Well, I don't think we're in threat mate, so... Fastest attack. Okay, so we take the lance. Okay, we can actually use the king as an attacker here, in a way. Our silver's acting a bit as a defender here. Silver up and then gold back should do the trick, but we'll find out. They might move the king back here. I've got a lance. I don't know, it's a hard endgame and we only have 30 seconds, so I might go quiet. I've got a knight jump as well. I don't think that's gonna work. Okay. And is a trade
30秒
good for us or bad for us? We have bonds. Oh, I'm gonna lose. I messed up. The silver drop here. Ooh, oh no. Reversal. Got him.
厳しい。あまりに厳しい戦いだったが、よく頑張ったな。
Ooh. Lukai Bisha. Very interesting game. Let's do a review. Okay, so this was a bit interesting. I've actually never played in this particular way before. Second file Rook versus Udashino style. Basically, Udashino style kind of aims to... I mean, I think it's meant to be played against static Rook. The idea is that your opponent's going to build a big heavy castle, and so you come in with an extra silver, you build a very weak, kind of lighter castle, and, you know, pull the bishop back, move the silver up, and it's like a very quick, fast attack with 2 silvers and a bishop and the rook. But since we pulled our rook over here, we have a little extra power on the left side of the board here now, and because we've got our 2 generals here, keep the gold over here instead of moving it into the castle. This ended up being a very kind of positional game, right? So we played some typical kind of swinging rook-looking moves, you know, wanting to get the bishop out, trying to develop the knight. Like here, if we look at the board just at a glance, you can see, you know, I think they were Sente. My opponent hasn't developed their knight versus me. I've got my knight developed, and they haven't moved these golds, right? They have no real castle. So we're in a half Mino. So we're in a little bit better position right now. Although it's not an easy game, right? Because whoever breaks through first is going to have a big advantage. So I think exchanges actually favor me by a fair bit because they have a very weak castle and have, you know, a decent castle. So usually want to avoid exchanging pieces like this. I actually missed a nice little kind of bishop attack here. I guess they could drop the bishop here, you know, kind of attacking the knight through the rook, a skewer. But I guess if they drop the bishop, bishop takes, silver takes, you know, there isn't much of a follow-up. So, I don't know. We went with a simple defense. This is an interesting, very aggressive idea, basically. Trading the bishop for one of our defenders so that they could make a dragon. I had to pull my gold out of my castle to come and defend both the rook and the silver. And I do wonder if maybe I had a better move than this one. This feels rather passive. Maybe the pawn drop first and I could drop the bishop here or something like that. Again, I feel like exchanges are a little bit favorable for me. In this situation, I have you know, an advantage of a bishop to the gold, so it's maybe a better idea to slow down, but I didn't see a lot of good-looking slow moves. So I went with the idea in front of me, just to try and get my rook promoted by clearing out all the pieces in the way. That's sort of an interesting bishop drop. I don't know if this was good or not. Maybe not. Here too, you know, I've got my what I was basically trying to say was, if they take here, oh, whoop, I think I skipped a move. So yeah, so here, if they take here now, I've got this move, and you know, if the dragon kind of tries to run away, I've got 3 pieces bearing down on this one square. And if the dragon comes up here, well, we get a rook exchange, and I have, you know, a good amount of space to drop my rook. In this scenario, they also have a decent amount of space to drop the rook. They don't have a diagonal moving piece, so they can't drop anything here right away. So I might have a little bit better tempo, and then I could do something like this later, or, you know, something like this with a check would be very good, because the promoted silver stops them from blocking with much. So I think they probably noticed that threat, and that's why they pulled the gold up here to guard this weak point. I went ahead and just traded the rook off to keep up my attack. Not too dissimilar from how they traded their bishop for my gold earlier. Basically, trading in you know, an inactive attacker for a more active one. So, and because I mean, he's only really got the silver general, my king over here, but that's good enough in this particular situation. Again, I wonder if, you know, maybe a better move like a bishop drop now, or bishop drop here, or here, for example. I'm not sure. I always try to use all of my pieces, though. You never want to have, you know, idle pieces, or playful pieces, as they're called, asobigoma. Yeah, here too, I just couldn't see any good moves here, but this also feels like there's something here, right? Maybe even a move like this would have been better. But it's not clear to me. Right, we want to surround the king. They've got some material that they can come attack us, so we don't want to delay too much, although we do have some time. Yeah, so here, again, I think I misplayed, but I don't really see a good opportunity. So here, actually, this totally loses. They missed this move, but if the gold takes, this is check, right? I can't move anywhere, so I have to take with the knight. But now the king is guarding my king's head, so they can play a move like this, and this is mate. So I thought for sure I had lost here, but, you know, Shogi Wars effect. You get nervous. You know, they had lots of time to think about this, actually. They really should have utilized more of their time, because this was a pretty easy mate in 3, right? 1, 2, 3. But you know, it's always easier to see when you're not the one playing the game, right? And so here I had a nice reversal. The king can't come up here because I have this pawn push. That would be mate. This is the only move, really. And now that I have a gold in hand, I can basically do anything and win. There's really no... I mean, if the king goes here, I drop in the same place. It's game over either way. They can't come back here because of the bishop. A pretty effective bishop drop, even if it looked a little weird. can't take this pawn because of the knight, and then, you know, the generals guard everything else. So yeah, good game. Thank you for the game.